A group of 6 friends vow to become the best treasure hunters, but one of them, Cry, realizes he's not cut out for it. Despite this, his friends make him the leader of the group, and so their journey to fulfill their dreams begins. The story opens on a sunny day, where a red-haired boy inspires his friends to grow up and become treasure hunters in the capital, Zabrudia. Years later, we see one of those boys, Cry, who explains that treasure hunters are the most admired people in the world. Treasure hunters travel far and wide, searching for runes called treasure chambers, where they find hidden treasures. However, they must fight monsters called phantoms to obtain them. Those who succeed gain wealth and glory. Cry goes to one of the most prestigious guilds in the capital, called First Steps, hoping to be recruited as a member. Cry knows that for any treasure hunter, having skilled companions is vital for survival. A pretty girl behind him greets him, as he seems to be the friendliest person around. She introduces herself as Ruda Runebeck, a level 3 hunter. Cry introduces himself but dismisses the greeting. Ruda notices the large number of candidates and mentions that she used to manage on her own, but the White Wolf's den is impossible for her to conquer. An unpleasant man overhears their conversation and mocks her, calling her a noob and telling her to go home rather than embarrass herself. Cry tries to stay unnoticed. Ruda, offended, draws a pair of knives. A couple of officers notice the commotion and warn them that if they keep fighting, neither of them will be allowed into the guild. This is enough to calm them down, and they become more friendly. Finally, they enter the bar where interviews are held, and Cry admits it's his 5th attempt, as he lacks natural talent, but clings to his dream. Ruda asks about a small group, and Cry explains that they are Arc Brave, the Sons of the Holy Spirit, the strongest group present, having cleared a level 7 chamber with only 6 members. They are the elite. Cry points out that the blonde man is the leader, Arc Rodin, a level 7 hunter. If Arc approves of you, your success is guaranteed, but he hasn't accepted anyone yet. Ruda then asks about the empty table next to them. The hunter who insulted her earlier approaches again, this time more friendly, introducing himself as Greg Zangief, a level 4 hunter. He explains that the empty table belongs to the group that founded First Steps, known as the Tormented. Cry knows more about them. They are a group of 5 extremely talented hunters who recently arrived in the capital and quickly became one of the top teams. Their full name is Tormented Souls, and they are Cry's childhood friends. Greg mentions that the crowd is large because, for the first time, the Tormented Souls are looking for new members, though he suspects it's just a rumor since they aren't at their table. In the crowd, a young hunter loudly calls out to the Tormented, claiming to be a level 4 hunter deserving of recruitment. A cute girl named Tino interrupts him, telling him to be more modest. Her friend tries to calm her, but Tino insists she'll only knock him out, as that's what her sister would want. The arrogant idiot keeps shouting. Tensions rise and the whole bar prepares for a fight. Cry tells Ruda it's best to keep their distance and suggests stepping out for a moment. As the fighters prepare to draw their weapons, Cry sneaks through the crowd. Somehow Tino senses Cry, and when she's attacked, she loses interest in the fight. She quickly appears in front of Cry, blocking his way and asking where he's going, referring to him as Master. Arc Rodin also approaches and greets him, saying they've been waiting for him, as he's the guild master and leader of the Tormented Souls. Everyone is shocked to learn that this is Cry Andre, a level 8 hunter. Years earlier, a young Cry had just arrived in the capital and was exploring the beginner chambers with his friends. They had cleared all of them in record time. Suddenly, a giant worm attacked Cry from behind, trying to devour him, but one of his friends saved him. A small girl approached to check if he was okay, relieved that he was unhurt since that was the last phantom. His friend congratulated him, assuming his plan had been to act as bait so he could eliminate the final monster. Cry realized that his level was far below his friends, who possessed monstrous strength by comparison. He knew he would soon become a burden to them, although his friends were too kind to say anything, so he made the best decision for the group. He would leave them. One afternoon, he announced his departure, confident that his friends would go further without him. The red-haired boy admitted they hadn't had a leader for a while and suggested Cry become the group's leader. Cry couldn't believe what he was hearing. All his friends agreed, delighted at the idea. They considered him the best candidate to lead them, and that's how, without any special skills, Cry became the leader of one of the most distinguished groups of the time. Ever since then, he has only wanted to retire as a hunter. Returning to the present, Cry naps at the Tormented's table, while his new friends Ruda and Greg look at him, unable to believe he's the leader. Arc laughs at him like an old friend, but Tino asks Arc to stay away from the Master, whom she sees as fake and superficial. Arc laughs at her accusations and mentions that Cry was secretly observing the candidates, but Cry denies this, saying he simply fell asleep, which is why he's not wearing his uniform. Arc laughs again, but thinks he's joking. Cry knows Arc isn't the only one who tends not to believe what he says. Tino warns Cry that Ark is a jerk and asks him to kick him out of the guild. Tino is Tino Shade, a level 4 solo hunter affiliated with the group Huela, and she's also the apprentice of Liz, a member of the Tormented Souls. Ark asks Cry if he's seen anyone with potential. Cry says no, but regrets it, asking if Ark would trust him if he said he found the perfect member for their team. Ark agrees immediately, shocking everyone in the bar, as they are finally choosing someone. One of Ark's teammates suggests thinking it over, but Ark refuses, agreeing to accept just one member that Cry recommends. Cry isn't surprised by how easily manipulated his friend is, but Ark's teammate glares at him. Tino thanks Cry for considering her worthy, but she declares she's determined to join the Tormented Souls. The red-haired idiot who started the fight continues to provoke her. Cry calms Tino and asks the guy if he's in any other group. The boy introduces himself as Gilbert Bush. Cry knows Gilbert is still too inexperienced to be of much help, but maybe with Ark's training he could become useful soon. Cray stands up and says he'll recommend him to Ark under one condition. He asks Gilbert what's most important for a hunter. Cry answers his own question, never lose, and asks Gilbert to show him his ability to never lose, adding arrogantly that he's never lost since becoming a hunter. This shocks Gilbert. Deep down, Cry knows it's because he's never fought for real. Cry removes a ring and announces that he'll recommend whoever brings it to Ark, then throws it into the crowd. Gilbert catches it, but Tino quickly kicks him in the face, sending the ring flying. The ring rolls across the floor as everyone starts fighting over it. Cry declares that the ring is a treasure and the winner can keep it. He then says goodbye to Ark, Ruta, and Greg, slipping out the back door as the bar descends into chaos. The next day, at the guild's base, Eva Renfield, the second in command of First Steps, tells Cry that his antics at the bar made the newspapers and that the Adventurers Association wants to see him. Cry asks what Ark thought about it. She replies that Ark just laughed, prompting Cry to ask her to send him the repair bill for the bar and have him visit the association. Eva notes that Cry depends too much on Ark, emphasizing that the association specifically wants to see him. Cry knows he has no choice, but insists he won't go without an escort, since his treasure used for disguise has broken. It was called Reverse Face, a mask that changed the appearance of whoever wore it. Eva assures him that no one will attack him, so Cry has no more excuses and heads to the meeting, where he begs for forgiveness, claiming it wasn't his fault or intention. The association's manager, Gank Welter, tells him he won't get off that easily. Cry points out that only one place was destroyed and no one was hurt. He mentions that he's friends with the owner and thinks they can reach an agreement. Gank gives him a pitiful look and says the guild must set an example and take responsibility. Cry receives a penalty, a very difficult mission that no one else wants. He sits across from Gank and arrogantly says he's exaggerating, adding that as an ex-hunter, Gank should understand his situation. With a single look, Gank intimidates Cry into silence, forcing him to accept the penalty, although Cray tries to make it seem like he's grateful for everything Gank has done for him and insists he's done nothing wrong. Gank's companion points out that Cry has improved his smooth-talking skills. Cry reviews the book with mission records, determined to find an easy one to pass on to Ark. He checks the available chambers and finally finds a level 3 mission. He tells Gank that he chooses the bone collection mission. Gank's companion informs him that it's actually a rescue mission and that he shouldn't take it lightly. Once Cry leaves, Gank and his companion talk about how the boy hasn't changed, with Gank mentioning that, unknowingly, Cry picked the hardest and most dangerous mission of all. When Cry arrives at the base, he finds out that Ark isn't there. Tino tells him that some nobles summoned Ark and that he'll be gone for a while. She proudly shows Cry that she's wearing the ring and is very happy to keep it. Cry informs her that it's just a precision ring and then asks if she's free at the moment. Excited, Tino assures him that she's ready and will always make herself available for him. Cry pulls out the mission notice and Tino disappears upon realizing what it's about. Cry unclasps a chain from his waist that takes the form of a wolf, which Cry calls Silver, and tells it that it knows what to do. Soon, Silver returns with Tino as a prisoner. She accuses him of tricking her, saying she thought he was going to invite her for ice cream, but instead, he's sending her on a dangerous penalty mission with bad pay and a lot of responsibility. She also tells him that, as a level 4 hunter, it's impossible for her, and that she needs his help to complete it. Cry had already considered this, so he sends her to join Greg, Gilbert, and Ruta. If you've reached this point in the video, don't forget to leave the word Exquisito in the comments. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video.